Hello everyone, this is Korith Landwalker, and this afternoon we're going to be doing a little bit of well, that's a great start, isn't it? Oh, hey Cap, nice to have a stream that starts on time, man. Legend. Boy, I feel like someone is poking somebody here. Well, regardless, we're going to do a little flying in Star Citizen. How are you doing, Cap? How's life treating you today? Yeah, Legend may not be able to respond because he's either not actually here on stream, or, equally likely, he is busy shooting things somewhere else. Doing well, that is excellent news. Always good to start the weekend on a high note. I wish I could say the same. Some background. Last week, I purchased the Constellation Phoenix. Now, Constellation Phoenix is about 5.5 million UEC. All well and good. And thanks to an mysterious appearance of some extra credits in my account, I was able to take care of that right off the bat. Even so, it still was a massive whack on the finances. So, this week I started to rebuild my nest egg. And that's where things went spectacularly wrong. You see, one of the ways to help kind of get the nest egg built back up is to do cargo hauling. And I happen to have a C2 Hercules Starlifter, nice big, large cargo capacity. So I went over to the Tram and Meyer outpost and filled it up with laranite and titanium. And that's where things went south. Because as I was attempting to get on board my Hercules, I fell through the surface of the moon. So, that ended badly. Had to kill myself to respawn in Grimhex. I was at least intelligent enough to have myself in a spawn point that was reasonably nearby. So I grab an Aurora and go back to Tram and Myers. The C2 is gone. Poof. What does this mean? Well, I need to apparently do a lot of rebuilding. But you know, this is not a problem. And we're going to do it in a rather unusual way today. Today, we're going to do some box delivery missions. Now, box delivery missions may not sound like much. Yeah, panhandling. Alms! If they would sell a cup, a tin cup that I could buy, I would sit in the middle of Grimhex in one of those little puddles, holding that tin cup up, going, credits, please, have pity on the weird. No. No, we're going to be doing box deliveries. Box deliveries have an interesting history. You've got your kind of delivery. Thank you, Cap. I'm out of the poorhouse. The baseline deliveries are kind of basic. You get 2,500 UEC to do simple deliveries of take something, one thing to another thing. Another one for recovery at places like Gundo, which is a Kovalex facility that's been kind of abandoned because it's a wreck. Got this research scan help, which is again another low one. Transport one item to one item. But the fun stuff begins when you start dealing with local delivery companies. So, from Drunken Stream to Delivery Stream. How about Drunken Delivery Stream? Hey, Legend, how are you doing today? Drunken streams only happen when I'm able to prepare for an advance by buying lots and lots of Smoltz beer at Grimhex or at Orison. And unfortunately, I am not anywhere near that prepared. Keep that in mind for a future stream, though. That could be entertaining. We've done combat missions in the Drunken stream, but we didn't do delivery missions. And, you know, now I'm kind of curious. But not today. Incidentally, for those who are not familiar with Legend Eternal, he is the boss man of the Eternal Writers Org, of which I am a part. We have some information there that, if you find that you enjoy the stream, like hanging with us. Yeah, there was a Connie Mischief stream where I couldn't figure out how to undock an Archimedes, too. Well, I'm not entirely sure that was your fault, Ammo. I think that might have been my fault in a way. And that might have been because of misunderstanding how the stupid thing gets reattached to the ship. Not a boss! I go on the Eternals thing and I see the word leader and I see your name attached to it, so yes, you are the boss. No matter how much you'd like to deny it. But I'll tell you what. Also, that happens on Saturday mornings. Legend Eternal also does a Star Citizen stream, so we're going to throw a shout out to him here so that you can give him a follow if you aren't already following him. He does tend to stream early, like crack of dawn early, depending on what coast you're on. But always worth watching. Especially since 9 times out of 10 he winds up in jail. Figurehead. Keep telling yourself that. So, back to Deliveries. Each of the planets in the Stanton star system has a delivery company operating in that area. And in Crusader, the company is Ling. And their missions tend to be two different kind of things. I've started circling a conspiracy that Drake haters can't rank up in the Riders. Well, that is not true, Ammo. That is not true, and I'll tell you why. Because Legend had the very poor taste of having me as one of the people in the leadership corps, so to speak. And I think we know all about my feelings about Drake Interplanetary. I know. My feelings on Drake Interplanetary, for those who are new to my stream, can be summed up in a quote from the original Star Trek series. Drake ships should not be hauling garbage. They should be hauled away as garbage. He didn't tell us he was anti-Drake until after the initiation. Well, yeah, I'll concede that one. Deliveries will go one of two ways. Either you're delivering all the packages from one location to 3 different locations, or you will be picking up in 3 different locations and dropping them off in one single location. Drake's only break. Oh, I'll have to remember that one. That sounds like a slogan. I didn't know I was anti-Drake until I flew one after that time. Now, a little while back, this was really the only way you could do delivery missions. Now it's my preferred flying paperweight. I am proud to say that I am currently Drake-free. And man, it feels good. It feels good. With the reputation system, delivery missions got a little more interesting, because now the various delivery companies, Kovalex, Ling, Redwind, and Unified Distribution Management, have their own reputations. And you can climb in the reputations. And as you get higher, you can start doing more dangerous delivery missions. Like this one here. Ones that are at Security Post Thackeray on Daymar, and take it to Benson. And it's actually, when they say it, they actually mean them, because there's usually multiple packages. It pays 45,000 UEC. Sounds great, doesn't it? There's a little bit of a problem, though. How long do delivery reputation missions take to rank up compared to Bounty Hunter Merc? I'm going to say that at least the lower end areas, they rank up, I think, faster. Mainly because of the fact that I guess they have more reputation points associated with them. Maybe it's because they're longer to complete. Right now, for example, I am listed as a runner, which is further than I thought I was, actually. I thought I was still a junior runner. It helps that it's a fairly safe thing to do until you get to the missions that have potential violence involved. It's just time. The good news, though, is if you play your mission smart, the time is not horrible. And what this means is try to avoid doing missions that go to places like Crew L1 or Her L1 or any of the Lagrange stations. You want to grab a mission like this one, where everything is in the same orbital location. And if you can find areas that have multiples on the same moon, like this one has 2 drop-offs on Selin, that's gravy. That increases the amount of that increases the speed that you can get it all done. So it's not horribly difficult. Things start getting a little crazy with this one. We're going to pick this up now before I lose track of what I'm doing. And basically, I'm going to go to this location, and there's a possibility that violence will happen. Now, I do want to point out that there are some bugs. I know! Isn't it crazy? Star Citizen and bugs? Who would have thought? But they were just saying Thackeray when I picked up the mission, and this says Security Post Lespin. So, you know, there are bugs happening. So we're just going to pray that it's sending me to the correct location. And the correct location, as far as this is concerned, is on Selin, and it is going to be at Lespin after all. So it's not going to be Thackeray. Yeah, shrug, whatever. But while you're there, violence may break out, which is why I'm currently armored up and loaded for bear. I'm assuming that horrible things are about to happen to me. Oh, okay. Ideally, horrible things will happen to somebody else. So, what are we going to take for delivery running today? Well, you know, there's a lot of possibilities to work with here. And I have been known to go really crazy at times and break out, say, for example, the 600i to deliver box delivery missions. I've done that. I haven't done the 890 jump doing box delivery missions, primarily because of the fact that I'm often here at Olisar and there's no landing pad big enough for that. But you want to take something that you can actually put boxes in. You can't do it on a ship like, say, the Arrow or a Gladius or a Saber or anything like that. Anything that's just a cockpit. It's not. You have to have something that you can actually walk around in, even if it's small, like an Aurora MR. You can do that. I'm going to take the smaller side of life today. We're going to take the Anvil Pisces. Yes, we're going to go tiny today. Now, most folks may be unaware of the Pisces simply because of the fact that they may not have or have never flown in the Anvil Carrack, which comes with the Pisces. And it's how I got the Pisces. Run, run, run. And here it is, the Pisces. A massive ship that can barely be controlled because of its weight, height, oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the Reclaimer there. I'm sorry. The Pisces is a tiny snub ship that has a quantum drive, so I can actually get to these places. Small cargo area. It feels like there should be a couple extra seats in here, honestly. I mean, we do have a couple passenger seats here, but I feel like this back area... Okay, that's cargo, though, so... Do deliveries in a Reclaimer. Well, you know what, Legend? If I had a Reclaimer, I would probably do a stream doing that. But Reclaimer is pretty low on my acquisition list, which is to say, maybe during an expo. If they happen to do Aegis during a Saturday afternoon during the expo, I could see myself doing that just for the giggles. Of course, the problem with that is, you know, taking off again. So, the Pisces. Tiny, 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 tiny Pisces. The Pisces is designed to sit perfectly in the docking bay of the Anvil Carrack, the exploration vehicle from Anvil Aerospace. but it does pretty nicely as a small transport all by itself.
Thank you, and please visit again.
I tell myself that Reclaimer is going to be low on my list, but somehow I know in my heart of hearts that one day I'm going to finally crack and just grab a Legatus pack. Well, I would grab a Legatus pack, except for the fact that the Legatus pack would require me to actually have Drake ships at that point. Ugh. What are the differences between this and the C8X again? The Expedition variant has one major difference. It has guns. Okay, let me rephrase that. It has missiles. Or maybe it has more guns. It's better armed. I know that. And I have missiles too. Okay. I think it's still better armed. I mean, let's see. What do we got in the way of guns on here? Let's pop up the MFD. 2 more hard points. There you go. So 2 more guns. 4 guns. And they're all size 1s. This guy's flying a CF-117 Bulldog repeater. But honestly, if this thing gets into a fight, he's probably dead. And unfortunately, looking at the distance of my collection, it seems like we're going to be on the night side of the moon, which kind of sucks. Oh yeah, and the paint job is different as well. The C8X has a white paint job with kind of a pink cockpit. Those are your major differences. The C8X is available to pledge on the store, but oddly, the standard C8 is not. At least it wasn't last time I looked. Which is kind of ironic because the Expedition Carrack is not on sale in the store, but the usual regular Carrack is, or at least, you know, when it's on sale. So, you know, it's kind of backwards. So you're likely to see someone in a Carrack flying with, potentially, the Expedition Pisces. Or maybe not. After all, the standard Pisces comes standard with the Carrack, so no extra pledge money. Carrack also comes with an Ursa rover, which is handy. Let's turn on the lights, which I can't see anything right now because I'm still a few kilometers above the surface, but I should be getting closer. Actually, it's brighter on the side of my windows than it is below me. There we go. I think I'm getting definition. Still 9 kilometers out. Now, one of the problems with collecting a package in these locations, and when I say a package, it usually means packages plural. The problem is it's kind of hard to determine what packages you're picking up. Unlike the standard delivery missions, it doesn't give you individual markers until you actually get the items. That's going to cause some difficulties, but only minor ones, because as with many things, preparation is key. For example, you see the location of this turret over here? If things go horribly wrong on me, that turret is going to try to kill my ship. So what we're going to do is we're going to arrange my landing point into a position where it cannot possibly hit my ship without going through the structure of the outpost itself. Actually, what I want to do, turn myself around a little bit. It'll make loading the packages easier. All right, let's get out of here. And run to the other side of the building. You can also land on the ramp so it can't get an angle on you. Well, that's true. I am flying a small enough ship that I can get away with that. But it's so much easier to avoid having to do fancy maneuvering. So the outposts, for those who've seen my stream before or have played the game, are usually locations where they have defend or attack missions. So the layout of this place will not be unfamiliar. Now, I'm going to freely confess that the last time I did this kind of mission, things went south on me. One of the security guards happened to run the way of one of my bullets, and, well, there was crime stat, and that was that, so, bleh. I kind of panicked on that one, too. I'm jealous your elevator works. Mine didn't. Well, you know, it's the joys of working in Crusader. Now, there are no bad guys here initially. So what we're going to do is make use of the tractor beam tool. This is going to be our method of determining what I can pick up. Because, you know, just by looking at these things, I have no idea which ones are my items. So what I'll do is I'll just drag my tractor beam until it snags something. Want to party up first in case you need a rescue? Yeah, I can do this. Oh, I hope I didn't just hose my, I hope I didn't just hose my ability to pick up my tractor beam. There we go. Whew, close. Man, that is a really messed up, symbol thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to run the tractor beam over, ooh, loot box. Can't ignore that. What's in the loot box? Anything entertaining? An undersuit, and it's green. Invite sent to some rando vandals. Yeah. A human just sent us a party invite. Excellent. Let's home in on him and kill him and loot his stuff. Damn vandal. So I want to check around the bottom area first before I go upstairs and looking. So far, no good. Looks like all the good stuff is upstairs. Wouldn't that figure? Oh, is that a loot box? No, that's just a tread. Eh. Well, fine. Be that way. So let's go upstairs. Oh, it's an item. And you'll see that when you've got the right item, it'll give you a new objective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this out by the elevator. Because we're probably going to want to get the hell out of Dodge quickly if things go bad. And things will go bad. Oh, in case you're also unaware and have an interest, I believe the Jumptown event is currently running, which is what you see kind of going on in my in-game chat right now. So if you want to go, and you see Sam and Wacko are still trying to control Jumptown and global chat there. We had an interesting time trying to keep it earlier. Yeah, Jumptown is the PvP dynamic event, and even though it could be considered nice and polite, you really can't count on that. Bad things happen to people at Jumptown. Greed becomes real. The urge to murder. Now, you see, this box didn't give me any special messages. So this box is not a good box. We're going to slide that there. This box is also not giving me a message. That means this is a box that stinks. So we'll slide that right there. Boo for the bad boxes. Boo, I say. Most of the boxes we're looking for, in fact, I'm pretty sure all of them are going to look pretty similar. Don't think there'll be any in here, but hey, you never know. There might be a loot crate lying around. Excuse me, having a little bit of clogging in my throat. Must suck down cough drops. Okay, nothing in here, so we continue our walk around to the upstairs. Alright, I've already hit those guys. Oops. No. So the boxes have a black texture with barcode-esque designs. Yeah, they're basically exactly like that. At least in my experience. Mileage may vary. And it's another one that's... Oh, wait. Did I see him? Yes, I guess this one is another live one. Excellent. Let's take this downstairs now. Yes, I could just pick the thing up. But it's so much more fun to let the tractor beam do the heavy work. God, I haven't tried any of these missions yet. Well, you know, like I said, the dangerous part comes shortly, because if I'm correct, the moment I locate box number 3 and pick it up, it hits the fan. And there's its indicator. 1 to go. And then everything goes pear-shaped. Now, you know, I could be wrong. I haven't been paying as close attention as I probably should have. But I don't think I've seen any security guards in here. Which could make my life a little easier, because if that were the case, then that means I wouldn't have to worry about accidentally killing off an ally. I would instead be able to kill anything I saw without having to hesitate. That's the ideal situation. Okay, I betcha this is the box. Let me go back here and tag it. It's the box. Well, there's nothing spawning in yet, or at least I don't hear anything. I don't hear gunfire. Yet. So I'm going to kind of try to get myself out of here before bad things start happening. I might have gotten lucky. Of course, the fact that I've said a phrase like that is just asking for trouble. But I do believe I'm going to get away with it. Well, this was kind of anticlimactic, wasn't it? I honestly didn't expect that. I was expecting the bad guys to show up and start hitting me with bullets and laser fire, and well, this is what we got. Well, you know what? I am not arguing. Let's see, how heavy are these boxes? Not bad. Pretty good, actually. So we're not going to bother tractor beaming them into the Pisces. We're just going to carry them on out. I am really surprised. I am really surprised. This was not how I expected this to go. This could well turn out to be the easiest 45,000 I've ever made. So, you know, automatically I'm kind of expecting something horrible to happen somewhere along the line. Maybe my Pisces will despawn on me or something. Or I'll fall through the moon again. Something horrible like that. These are actually pretty light boxes. If you're doing delivery missions, some boxes you carry are pretty heavy. You move slower, probably because they're carrying heaps of metal or metal parts or who knows what. But I'm just trucking along with this package. I'm not complaining. Oh, I'm not complaining. I could do light package delivery all day. That's a good name for a Drake ship. Fate, if it blows up. Well, you know, maybe. I'm not entirely sure what the smallest name you can have for a starship is in this game. Right now, you can name some starships in the game for those who aren't familiar, but only specific ships. Mercury Star Runners, 890 Jumps, 600 Eyes, Reclaimers, and I want to say there's one more, Hammerheads. Those are the ships that are nameable currently in-game. Carracks. Okay, so there's a number of ships that are nameable in-game. If you pledged for it. If you buy it in-game, you don't have naming rights to it at this time. You will someday, but you know, this is CIG, so someday could be any time between now and the heat death of the universe. Alright, all of our boxes are loaded. So let's take a look at the map and see where our delivery points are. Doesn't look like there's any here on Selin. There, yeah, let's see if there's anything on the contract manager. Oh, they all go to one place. Only to Deacons. Well, that's cool. That is real cool. I was half expecting to go all across the region. This is good. This is very good. Power up the engines. Looks like I didn't have to worry about being shot at by the turrets after all. That's good. I just need to get out of what passes for atmosphere here. That'll be around 3 kilometers or so. Or so. Or I hit the set route too early and it pointed me to the wrong location. No, that's not it either. What the heck is wrong? How can you say I'm obstructed? How can I be obstructed? I'm taking off from a moon and I'm 6 kilometers up. So if any box fails to be found, picked up, or dropped off, whole mission fails? Yes. You only get paid once all boxes are delivered. So, if one of them doesn't get delivered, you don't get paid. And of course, that also means a potential hit in your reputation as well. Although I'm not sure how much of a hit. Because Star Citizen. Well, you know, think about it from a realistic point of view here. If I tell you that I'm going to deliver your packages, and then your packages never get delivered, are you going to pay him? No, no you're not. That can only go smoothly. And this is on the light side, which makes life a little easier. So, off the Deacons, drop it off, and make myself a cool 45,000 credits. Unless something wacky happens. Which would never happen in a game like this. You just have to tell yourself, it's an alpha. It's an alpha. That's what got me through the pain of losing all of my money to that C2 bug a little while ago. It's realistic when your box clips through the map, despawns, can't go into the delivery box. Well, gee, it's almost as if the game had a few bugs in it. One of these days, I'm going to get a graphic or video thing showing the Starship Troopers bug running across my screen. Just to make that point. Hasn't happened yet, but you know, sooner or later I'm going to break down and do it. great if I could just get rid of all the background stuff and just have the bugs running across. That'd be a dope little stream feature, actually. Yes, it would. You know, if I had any video editing skill whatsoever, I would do it in a heartbeat. As you might imagine, I have no video editing skills whatsoever. If I did, my YouTube channel would have things other than my stream archives. And I keep telling myself sooner or later I'm going to get rid of a lot of those older streams, but, you know, haven't done it yet. It's not like YouTube has complained about me putting them out there. Let's make sure I'm... No, I'm not on it. Let's go a little higher up. Oh, too far up. Alright, time to make my deliveries. Let's open the door first. Whoa, I've seriously unbalanced myself there somehow. I don't like the fact that I'm seeing a collect package marker there. I'm not going to panic yet. I'm not going to panic yet. Jump off the landing pad because, you know, why not risk possible harm to life and limb by just jumping off the side? Sesame is opened. Drop off. And place. Place. that was a little nervous for a second there. Ooh, thumbs up. Package 1 delivered. Time for number 2. Now see, this is why we need to have forklifts or something in the game, so I could move more than one box at a time. Just load them up on a crate. And they've already got trolleys in the game, so, you know, they need to make them more available. Although, to be fair, if they were more available, what would happen is players would just take them and just steal them from the outposts, and we'd never see them again. And you know that to be true. Maybe they included trolleys inside of ships as a feature of the ship. But that probably wouldn't work either. If you could purchase a trolley and spawn it somewhere, that would work. Anything would be better almost than hand carrying 3 separate boxes at a time, as opposed to just throwing them on a trolley, dragging the trolley over, and then just unload them from there. Thumbs up. 1 more package. I feel like the count. 1 more package. Ha ha ha. So run to the Pisces, run to the Pisces. And pick up the final box. Get myself turned around there. Oops. Okay. Things are looking up. As long as I don't trip and fall on this ramp and die, I should be okay. And you may laugh, but it has happened. People have literally died walking off and on these ramps. Hasn't happened to me for a while, which means I'm probably due. You'll note that I don't say anything about maybe a bug being fixed. No, I think it's just luck. The odds will catch up sooner or later. Alright, here we go. Moment of truth time. Delivered. Contract complete. 45,000 AUEC. And I'm not entirely sure why those markers stuck around, but who cares? I got what I wanted. Now, if you're thinking that this is an incredibly non-efficient way to gain money, you are absolutely right. Box delivery missions in the beginning are basically building seed money so you can afford weapons, so you can do bounty hunting missions on your ship and do better stuff. For these later missions, it's still not as effective as the high-end bounty missions. However, there is one major advantage here. And that advantage is you're not being shot. Okay, to be fair, I was supposed to be shot in this mission, but I wasn't. I'm still not quite sure how I managed that. So, let's bring up the Moby Glass. I am now doing better. I am now no longer in the single digits. I have begun to slowly crawl myself out of the hole. As far as reputation goes, ling, 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 ling. Ling. Oh, right up top. It hasn't budged a whole lot, which is no surprising since I'm working on mid-tier kind of stuff here. So it may be a while before I see what comes next. And there may not be anything that comes next as far as that goes. That said, I am not seeing any 45,000 credit deliveries right now, which is most distressing. So, decisions. I could try the Zeta Prolonide salvage. That's not too fast. This is not exactly the fastest ship in the world, though, and that's a little nervous to be doing. And I'm not seeing the quantum sensitive stuff on here, which is also interesting. Oh yeah, let's grab Call to Arms just in case I do find mercenaries. I might as well get paid for killing people. Mentioned it in Legends chat earlier, seeing that you can steal an F8A Lightning doing high reputation criminal Vaughn missions. I didn't even know the Lightning was there on the high rep criminal Vaughn missions. I know it's there on the one of the Arlington gang ones. In fact, one of the things that's still on my list is to start dealing with the Arlington chain again. I just haven't gotten around to bothering. I would imagine it would be kind of tricky, wouldn't it? I mean, you'd have to be able to disable the vehicle, which means you'd need EMPs or distortion weapons. You'd have to hope that they were not in an uncontrolled spin. But, you know, I would imagine they're kind of fun to fly. Right, the Vaughn missions still don't reliably spawn them, but you can actually get them to circle you, then eject and gun down the pilot. The cockpit isn't protected. Oops! This is what happens when you don't make the proper materials for your cockpit. Don't use actual glass. Use that super high-tech stuff that, you know, keeps guns from outside shooting you to death. I'm going to presume that when you eject, that they stop moving. Because if they're still moving, that would be pretty hard. Okay, you know what? We'll just do this one to refresh things before, and hopefully after I'm done with that, I'll be able to get another 45,000 mission. Yeah, they stopped moving. Okay, it's still a placeholder ship with no hydrogen tank, so you can only fly it a couple minutes. Yeah, that would make life a little difficult too. Well, you know, I guess maybe it's a security feature. They dump out all their hydrogen fuel when they are worried about being boarded. Yeah, that didn't sound right even to me. We are not likely to see the Lightning as a playable ship until Squadron 42 is released. If I recall correctly, which is iffy, it's the big endgame ship of Squadron 42, and supposedly if you complete the mission, the whole campaign in Squadron 42, you unlock the Lightning. Now that said, there is another way to unlock the Lightning, but involves pledging oodles and oodles and oodles of money. Real money. Which, admittedly, is something that can easily happen after a while of, you know, being involved with Star Citizen. It's got 6 size 3 and 2 size 4 cannons on it. That's insane. That is insane. And they're all pilot controlled. That's crazy. I guess that's why the Lightning is the high-end fighter craft. You're right, I believe, about the release of Squadron 42 having the release of the ship. Have they ever confirmed that about unlocking it, though? I honestly don't know for sure. They are, but it's the military variant. I have to go looking for the source I'd seen that on once upon a time. And it really was once upon a time. Once upon a long time. Oh, as in all the pilot-controlled guns. Good point. I really don't know what they're going to do with the Persistent Universe version. So, I spoke of Gundo a little earlier. This is it. The good news is, I don't believe I've ever seen pirates in here. Even smoked the Hammerhead in 1.5 passes in the mission you do to get the F8. Yikes! That is terrifying. Okay, now what we gotta do is we gotta break in here because there's no easy entrance here. So we gotta go through a broken window. And let's do a little bit of oops. Okay, turn. Stop turning. Ah! Trying to do this backwards in third person is just not the smartest thing I could do. Okay, kill the engines. And we're gonna do a little bit of spacewalking. Hopefully I won't have done something crazy like get too close where I'd accidentally... Oh, good. So there is a bit of an actual spacewalk here. And as you can see, we've got some tape here. Lots of stuff floating around. We're in complete zero-G here. Luckily, you can move around some of the stuff here, thanks to the handy-dandy tractor beam. I wonder if I could block the window up with this stuff. Nuts. I was hoping to be able to get that, but... Oh, I just thought of something. If I see it, I'll have to try it. I'm pretty sure I can do it, but I want to... We'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, I gotta get to the package. And to get to the package, I kind of have to go through the maze-like environs of Kovalek's shipping hub Gundo. And one of the things you gotta do is make use of non-functional elevator shafts. I can see no possible way this can go wrong. And then I've got to go all the way around. And once we've gone all the way around... oh, sweet. Whole station anti-grav or some pressurized areas. No, I'm pretty sure that this entire place is 0G. Ah, nuts. I was hoping that the vending machine wouldn't be... Well, it's not anchored, but I guess it's too massive for this to handle, so it drags me instead of me dragging it. That hurts, man. That really does. Although that does put me in mind of the fact that I can use the tractor beam to cross distances quickly. Zero G, yeah, better term here. Yeah. And now I gotta go down this elevator to stop in the mid-level. I wonder if I can get that chair in my ship. I was complaining about not having extra seats in my ship, and you know, they have all these chairs here. I don't see any reason why we can't make use of these. Ah, well. That's more effort than I'm willing to put into it. Now, theoretically, the package is in here. Okay, maybe not in here. Oh, come on. Don't tell me it was in... Okay, I seem to have an essential problem here, that I've misjudged the location of the package. And there we are. Now the next step is I gotta deliver it to the location. Okay, that's a server room. Okay. So we're gonna have to really... You know what? It's probably better if I just carry it at this point. I mean, as cool as it is to use the tractor beam and all that, I feel that I might have better control over my movement if I go about things this way. Okay. Go through the open cargo area to the other side, into this elevator shaft, go up again. Ow. That's good. Bang my face against the ledge there. That's really good. Thank God for helmets. Zip my way to the other side here. To the other elevator. Go all the way down to deck 1. Go to the other side. Get to the broken window. Ow, ow. And then work myself back to the ship. And let's make sure that I try not to fall on my face when I get back on. Not as easy as it sounds. Ah, perfect. Next stop, the famous station Port Olisar. Nice, easy, theoretical one-stop jump, but realistically speaking, two, because this will not drop me at Olisar. It will almost always drop me somewhere further away. And then I'll have to go to Olisar from there. That's a problem with a lot of the space stations in the game. At least the orbital ones. Generally don't have that problem with the R&R stations or stations like Caria or Gundo. Yep, there I am, 317 kilometers away. Now the real trick is I want to land at the strut closest to my drop-off point, so I can't call for a landing spot until I can get myself into a position which will put me exactly where I want to be. So for starters, I want to make sure I'm on this side of the station. And then I want to get a little closer to make sure that there's no surprises. And then we'll open up communications. Now, just as a side note here, this mission will not give me reputation with anybody. It's not a Ling mission. I think it was kind of a personal, well, not personal, but it was an individual hiring. So it's not going to give me any reputation. But you know, the only reason we were doing this one was to kill time. To allow one of those 45,000 missions to roll back up.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Perfect. I love it when a plan comes together. Although that's really somebody else's line. Landing complete.
Have a pleasant stay.
Open sesame. Grab the crate. Close up the Pisces. Good Pisces. Did a great job. The Pisces, I think, is really the only snub ship that you can do this sort of mission in. The Merlin and the Archimedes, I'm pretty sure, are cockpit only. And I believe you've got the same problem with the 85X. And we'll go around this way. We'll take the shortcut. And they've got two Kovalex boxes here. I guess they're expecting this place to be a major hub. Can you see? Use the Gladius with a built-in cargo now. I didn't know it had built-in cargo. This is news to me. I have no idea. I have no idea. Yay! Waiting on my package. 5,000 UEC. Yippee! Let's store the Pisces, and we'll do a different delivery ship next. I'll check that out in mine later. Yeah. Gladius is not high on my list of priorities because I've got arrows. One of which is a loaner for something else. And I like the arrows a bit better than the Gladius, even though the Gladius is arguably a better ship right now. 45,000 mission, here we go. Time to risk life and limb on another one. What starship shall we take? Decisions. Almost tempted to take the Terrapin. Almost tempted to take the Terrapin. Oh, no, no. Better. We'll take the Nomad. Time to use the pickup truck. I'm still not sure why I still have the Nomad. I guess it's a leftover from the free flight. Man, I've kind of lost my bearings. I've lost my bearings. That's insane. AO2. Okay. I probably should have guessed that. Gladius is hilariously imbalanced, though it feels like it's more that other ships are just underpowered, rather than it being overpowered. Well, you know what? The Gladius, if I were to look at ships that are overpowered, Gladius would have to be a distant second on my list. There is one ship alone right now, that I feel needs to be looked at. It is fast, it is maneuverable, it is heavily armed, heavily shielded, and heavily armored. Vanguard Sentinel? Maybe. The Sentinel kind of waxes and wanes depending on how the EMP is at any given time. No, I'm speaking of the Hurricane. The Hurricane is just insane. It is literally got great everything. Yeah, Cap wins that one, yeah. For all the armor it has, or all the health it has, it should be less maneuverable. It's not. It's got heaps of firepower. It's got heaps of shields. It's literally the best ship in the game right now. Only crewed, yeah, or if you're flying against AI Hurricanes, which admittedly also tend to mean, yes, it's crewed. Unless you're talking about the Sentinel, of course, but I kind of doubt that. Either way, it needs looked at. Probably more so than the Gladius. Think about it. Would a crewed Hurricane be overpowered against two pilots and single-powered light fighters? Yes, I think it would. I think it would. If you threw two light fighters against the crewed Hurricane, I think crewed Hurricane wins. If they have, presuming all things are equal, meaning the pilots of the Gladius don't suck, or more accurately, the pilots of the Hurricane don't suck. No, I think Hurricane wins. I don't have any empirical evidence of this, but my gut is Hurricane wins. I still think that might be a case of the game balance being majority of the ships being underpowered. Well, you know, that may be right, and to be fair, balance is going to be one of those dicey things anyway, because we are still in active development, which means mileage is going to vary all the way up to beta, and probably not even then. Doesn't CIG want the game to be ships are tanky in general? Well, you know, I feel that it would depend on the ship. I really do. Some ships are going to be tanky, and some ships are not. But there's a trade-off with these things, too. If they're going to be tanky, they shouldn't be high maneuverability. That's insane. At least I've heard that used to be the plan, and armor still being one of their main focuses would suggest as much. Well, you know, they keep talking about armor being the mythical. This is where we'll balance everything with armor. But you know, I've been hearing that since the day I pledged, so I'm not holding my breath. I mean, let's take a look at another ship that's pretty tanky. The Retaliator. It is basically a huge sack of health right now. But it's not exactly what you would call high maneuverability. Far from it. So, you know, that's disadvantage and disadvantage. Hurricane is highly maneuverable and highly armored. Of course, they've shown no real interest in pushing on other objectives like ballistics and missile overhauls. Retaliator is straight up broken. I'm convinced that the hit points is a typo. Well, you know, I am really unqualified to judge on that one, because Retaliator is another one of those ships that I generally don't have. I just don't seem to have a knack for those torpedo boats. I mean, the closest I've come to it is flying a Harbinger for a lengthy period of time, and really not fond of flying it. So when I look at heavy ships, I tend to look at something like the Crusader Ion, or even the Inferno. Good enough to support attacks against huge targets. It's not like it's a waste of space. All right, package collecting location is ahead. I've turned the lights on, so I should be able to see where I'm landing. Waiting for the turret. Where's the turret? Want to know where the turret is? There we are. And once again, we are going to set down where the turret can't get me. Now, the interesting thing about the Nomad is it's a landing ability. It doesn't use your standard landing gear. It has actually kind of hover landing gear. So I look like I'm on the ground, but look, I'm not. I just want CIG to give mediums a freaking roll they can be competitive at. My favorite types of ships, and they all suck right now. Yeah, it's kind of rough sometimes. I enjoy flying the, what do you call it, the Super Hornets. I've been doing them a lot for the VHRTs. Oops, that was the shields on. Engines off. But basically any Hornet can be made into a Super Hornet practically with the right gear from the Dumper's Depot or Cousin Crow's. Exit ship. Now the reason we've picked up the Nomad for this trip is back here. Its cargo is in the back. We are going to basically be using this as an actual pickup truck. Hornets are my favorite. Sabres are cool. I like Sabres. I'm right with you there. I want a Glaive at some point, but all of them are mostly useless at the moment. The cargo bay is awesome. It is, isn't it? It's pretty cool. I'm not really big on the whole pickup truck thing. But I will still admit that I think it's a great idea for the game, even though I think anyone hauling cargo is asking for trouble if they have a pirate shooting at them in the back. Those cargo boxes are history. Okay, another working elevator. Let's break out the old tractor beam. Incidentally, if things go south, I am armed. I'm carrying a P4 assault rifle and a C-54 submachine gun. So, if I need to fight, I will be able to fight. Security guards. That's a sign. This indicates there will be trouble. I need to be able to name everything. Would definitely get a Nomad and name it the 89 Hillocks. Yeah, I think the naming stuff is still kind of on the back burner because they're still apparently trying to figure out how it's all going to work out. their first run through it seems to have not worked out quite the way they intended. Oh, we got package number 1. Oops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to bang you on the head, security guard. I don't want to annoy the security guards. I need them for later. Box number 1. Yes, don't shoot at me. I won't shoot at you guys. Theoretically. I may accidentally shoot at you guys because, you know, accidents happen. If Top Gear couldn't destroy that truck, should it be a serendipitous name for a ship? You may be right. More security guards. I get nervous seeing them around. Okay, well I just knocked that one over, and that one didn't show me any items, so I'm going to assume that this one is a no-go box. Oh, that was a sign for a second box. Let's get this one taken back. And this is all first floor stuff too, which is a nice change from the last mission. Of course, that just means I'll probably have to be at the top floor for the third box, which means I'll have to go through the whole bloody place. You know, in hindsight, maybe I should have started at the top floor. I did not think that through. I may very well be sorry about this very soon. Or, to borrow another phrase, I may have chosen poorly. Ooh, loot box. Custodian. Grenades. Grenades. I can't use a bloody grenade in here because I'm more likely to accidentally murder a security guard, but you know, and I don't have enough room to carry a third rifle at the moment. Or do I? Yeah, I shouldn't, but I am. Grab its ammo too. We're gonna leave the knife there. I really don't care about the knife. Oh, I'm gonna regret that later. Oh, hi, security guard. Don't mind me. I'm just checking boxes. Ooh, ammo. What have we got? Lumen. I don't have room for another gun. Knives and plenty of comp boards that do no good. What kind of money sinks we'd like to see in the game? I'm supposed to get racing betting whenever they eventually make it into Persistent Universe. Well, you know what? One of the big money sinks is going to be components. Because eventually, when insurance starts happening, your ship will blow up, and insurance is only going to cover the hull. It's not going to cover anything other than baseline components. So you'll have to buy new stabilizer. I can always do stabilizers. You'll need to buy new quantum drives if you want to get better quantum drives and all that other stuff. Oh, toy pistol magazine. I can't pass that up. That's it for that. Oh, it's downstairs. So I already am on the top level. That's a little nervous. What other things could they put in? Well, consumables will be a big thing. I mean, like, food and water is going to be a bigger deal when the time comes. I actually don't need a tacit suppressor. I haven't run into a situation where I've needed a tacit suppressor. Oh wait, tacit suppressor. That's noise, not flash. Never mind. Take that. More grenades! Which don't stack. Oh, and are too big for my capacity. I might be overloading my equipment here. Ships are naturally a big one. Yes. Yes. Just know they see how events like Ninetales and Jumptown have flooded players with AUEC. Well, you know, the whole economy thing is going to eventually find its own kind of balance, too. I'd like to see limited in-game ship variants that are held at like weekly auctions. It would be interesting. It would be interesting. I'm not sure how it would work out, but it'd be worth seeing. It'd be worth trying out. Another loot crate. Yes, instead of doing my delivery missions like I ought to be... Oh. Okay, Custodian, I'm afraid you just got put in the, on the shelf there. We're taking the big boy gun. Oh, I'm horrible. Would incentivize ship piracy more too. Well, yes it would. And piracy is going to be a thing. It's going to happen. Okay, that box looks like it's possible, so let's see. I need to figure out my retreat points, because I know the moment I pick it up, something bad is going to happen. I don't believe it. I don't hear gunfire yet. Is it really going to be this easy? I'm having trouble believing it, but you know, seeing is believing, and but I just lost track of the box. Oh, there we are. Whew. That was close. I got thrown off because I lost track of where the exit was. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's the second time with no pirate attack. With all the security guards here, I was dead certain that there was going to be hostile individuals coming here to try to kill me after I picked all this stuff up. But here we are. I am surprised. It's probably because I took the precaution of, you know, armoring up and loading up on weapons and all that, and now that I've done that, they're all staying away from me. Because they're scared of me. Yeah, that was a pretty diluted outlook, actually. More like they probably saw all the security guards and said, nah, we'll order out. Still can't believe it. Still can't believe it. So the next interesting part is going to be seeing how well these boxes stay in the cargo bay. Because this is a cargo grid, so... Someone really needs to make... I don't know if they ever did this or not, but someone needs to make a video commercial for the Nomad, like they did with the Freelancer, Cutlass, and the 890, and a number of other ships. They may have already done that. I don't remember seeing one, but that doesn't mean there wasn't one. But it feels like the kind of thing that you need to do like a pickup truck commercial. Really, if you get the same kind of work as they did with the Freelancer, that would be pretty good. That would be the right tone. I mean, the Nomad is hardly a Freelancer competitor, but it definitely has the same kind of spirit behind it. I still think it's insanely crazy, though, to be having cargo exposed like that. But then again, maybe not. I mean, when you think about it, we are going to be having some new ships coming in the not-too-distant future to have nothing but cargo boxes on the outside. Basically the Hull series. Drake should have some sleazy local used car sales ad vibe. You know, I can't disagree. But to be fair, they had a pretty slick commercial put into place for the Kraken, which basically captures the kind of vibe that Drake wants to encourage. Well, partially encourage, because after all, they like to call themselves the people's salesmen and ships for the real man and all that. It's just that so many of their ships equivalent to piracy. You see the Drake privateer and it has all those shops. You don't think they're there for normal, regular people use, do you? No, it's for the pirates so they have somewhere to sell after they've stolen their ill-gotten gains. Okay, the cargo is loaded in. Please tell me you've seen the Drake Leviathan parody ad. I don't know if I'd seen it as an ad. I know exactly what you're talking about for the parody Leviathan. I've seen that, but I didn't think they'd made an ad. I'll have to do a search for that at some point. Really, though, if it doesn't have a part that indicates we're altering the deal, then they've really missed an opportunity. Okay, taking off, and look, those boxes are just sitting there, out in the open. Boy, I sure hope those things stay indoors, stay on. Okay, Flanagan's. Where is Flanagan? Oh, don't tell me they're on selling too. They are on selling. And they're, comparatively speaking, not very far. Okay, get that sucker spooled on up. And jump. And it's actually dawn, dusk, one of those transitional moments of daylight. Boxes are still on board. They haven't fallen off. In fact, just for giggles, here we are going at roughly 90 degrees up, and the boxes are still on board. Of course, there's a reasoning behind that. There's supposed to be some sort of magnetic clamp or something. I'm not entirely sure. And I seem to have whacked my G-forces a little bit, but I'm better now. So let's come in for the landing. Five kilometers and closing fast. In fact, I'm closing probably too fast. Cut down that speed. It'd be dead embarrassing to wreck the thing now that I'm almost at the destination. We'll cut the autopilot, well, the cruise control. Let's see, where is the door? The door is over there. So let's try to arrange it so that my the back end of my pickup is facing the ramp. I'm sorry, but I still think pickup truck. So now that I've arrived at destination with my 3 boxes, still in my cargo pickup spot. Man, I can't get over that. Didn't park far enough up. Oops. Oh well. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of good. Boxing number 1. Now, one of the things I like about the aid shelters is they technically have their own local inventory. A lot of the outposts do. Oh nuts, I gotta actually pay attention to what box I'm carrying now. Ugh. Okay, 83, 63, and 08, so this is the 100. They have their own local inventory, so if I were to go here and grab this helmet, I can put it in the local inventory here. And then I can transfer it from the local inventory into the ship or into my personal inventory or wherever. Actually, do I have access to my vehicle from here? No, I don't. I didn't have it from here, did I? No, local, personal. Okay. That's okay. That's good. My hover quad killed you next to your cat with a load of agresium. Hope I have better luck than you did. Yeah, I hope your caterpillar well, let me rephrase that. I hope your cargo doesn't disappear. Your caterpillar I really don't care about because, you know, Drake, but for the sake of your wallet, I hope that your cargo is still there. And I guess that means by extension I kind of have to hope your ship is still there because otherwise it would be kind of hard to have your cargo. Yeah, don't be... If you find a C2 wherever your caterpillar is, it's probably mine. Just saying. Why were you in a hover quad running cargo? I mean, if you were picking up his cargo space, that's taking up cargo that could be used for, you know, actual profitable cargo. That would be faster getting to and from the storage hab units. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it would have been worth it. Well, certainly since your hover quad killed you, the answer is no, it's not worth it. The hover quad killed you. That's harsh, man. That's hard. What, did it flip you over? Or was it... I'm just dying of curiosity here. You wanted to see if it would fit on the cat, too. Yeah, well... If you've got it in through the side doors, maybe, but I'm not entirely sure if you can do that in a gravity well. Package delivered. Contract complete. 45,000 paid. Money, 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 money. So that puts us at 95,000 credits. We are making a decent recovery. Flipped you on the ground, not near the cat, then it vibrated till it blew up. I would have thought it would have been pretty hard for the thing to flip, being that, you know, it's got 4 repulsor lifts or whatever they want to call them. But apparently it's not as hard as it sounds, since that seems to be what happened to you. You have my most sincere condolences. I hope your medical bed was close by. Wind on the moon. Could be. Could be. But if it's got an atmosphere, it's not surprising that there could be wind. Even if it's not, atmosphere you can actually breathe. So let's take a look at our contract manager. And once again, we have no 45,000 missions. Gotta wait for the next one to roll through. So what to do? Well, we're here on Sullen, so I'm kind of encouraged to find something that operates at Sullen. Preferably pickups. Okay, I think we have a winner. We have a wiener here. So we're going to accept this 8,000 offer. It's got 2 pickup points on Sullen and 1 on Daymar. And the final drop-off point is also Daymar. Made the mistake of looking at Star Citizen trades, and my girlfriend was behind me. Went, ooh, Carrick Expedition for 460, and she instinctively responded, no! Yes, Star Citizen Starship acquisition is not healthy for individuals who are married and not wealthy. You can get away with that sort of thing if you're single. Married, it gets a little dicier. So here we are on Sullen. I'm at Ravine and Ravine. Huh. Oh, but I gotta go to Hicks or Delete. Okay. Okay, Hicks and Delete. Hex and Delete. Where is... Okay, I see one over here. I see it first, it gets to be first. He's actually always been chill about it. It's your money, spend how you want. That just gives you fair grief. You have an understanding wife. Or girlfriend, sorry. Gonna buy the fleet I want before marriage. That's probably the best move you can make if you're going to be doing that sort of thing. Okay, let the things spool up a bit before I align myself, because I'm heading right back to the surface of the moon. Doing this on the bloody other side of the moon, so... The next set of ship sales, small number, will probably be either next week or the week after, because that's when they do the Fortuna stuff. And that'll be where you run into things like, hopefully, the Constellation Phoenix Emerald, Cyclone MT, and a number of green-colored paints for a number of ships. I think the 600i might be on that list this year. The Mercury Star Runner had one last year, and I'm presuming it'll come back. I guess the courts would still call those speculative assets. Well, that... I'm not entirely sure if that helps or hinders your position. I mean, they're speculative. Well, the concept ships will certainly be speculative, but, some of the other ones, like the Carrick, they're in game now, so they're closer to being digital assets. If you have to split them, make sure you keep the one with a game package. Just saying. Yes, you will have all these ships as you're part of the settlement, but you don't have the package to actually make use of them. Didn't know about Stella Fortuna. Appreciate that heads up. You're welcome. You're welcome. It won't be a big smattering of ships. I think it will be mostly paints. I'm hoping that the Phoenix Emerald comes back. It didn't last year, which really surprised me. But maybe I'm hoping that maybe it makes a comeback, or maybe it'll just be a paint for the Phoenix. I don't know. Don't really know. And then after that, the next big one after that is going to be Invictus, which will be sometime in the middle of May. Drop landing gear. Don't want to bounce. I cheated on you. Her name was Connie. Well played. And we are down. Now, unlike the previous deliveries, I gotta get these boxes one at a time, so it's not gonna be all three loading in at once. It will be all three unloading at once. You know, I feel like that would be a great in-universe poem or song. A great stanza or title. I cheated on you, her name was Connie. And go all about the constellation, one of the variants. Probably the Phoenix because it's expensive. I think it would be moderately hilarious. If I had any talent at making poems or songwriting, I would be seriously tempted to do that at some point. But I don't have that kind of talent. Like, at all. I'm just peeking in here to see if there's any decent loot boxes. Oh, there is. Of course, it occurs to me that I think I left something behind in the local area back. Oh well. Oops. Scion compensator. I can always use a compensator. More grenades! Too many grenades. Okay. Well, that's an easy fix. Inventory. Hook up the grenades I'm carrying. And now I can grab those grenades. You know, grenades used to be a lot more fun before I started having to deal with security guards everywhere. I can't be indiscriminate anymore. Now, theoretically, when you do enough mercenary missions and get your standings up and that reputation, you wind up in a situation where you can theoretically... Oh, wrong way. Where you can theoretically get an assault mission where you don't have to worry about security guards, but you do have to worry about incoming fire from those turrets, so you do kind of have your good and bad to it. Okay, you know what? I've futzed around enough in here. Let's get the box. Which isn't the Kovalex thing. I really should have suspected that. Oh, no, it's not actually. It's right up here. She's a bigger gal, but she's sturdy. Well, there's some song lyrics right there. I cheated on you, her name was Connie. She took my money, left with Chris Robbie. Evil. Evil. I like it. Alright, let's lower the cargo bay and slap this thing in. I'm just going to throw my box in the pickup here. Cat was still there. No sign of the body. You can see the replay later on Discord. So no corpse, but your cargo's still there. So I think in a grand analysis, I think you come out ahead. You weren't wearing anything expensive, were you? I mean, surely not for a cargo mission. Agreed, yes. Definitely come out ahead. Nothing too special. Hurston armor. It's not like you haven't killed Hurston security before. An activity which, incidentally, I always like to encourage. You may get the impression that I don't like Hurston security. Hold on to that feeling. Yeah, I think my Hurston security armor is currently sitting tight over at Grim Hex. There we are. I kind of got away from the Hurston area, and oh yeah, because of the crime stat I had at the time. One of those other incidents that happened in the last week that I was kind of offline about was that I was helping out my good buddies Cap and Legend, mostly Legend because he was in jail, and we were flying Cap's Carrick to Kleischer Rehabilitation to try for a rescue attempt. But I'm afraid that certain individuals are apparently a little out of practice with escape because he never actually made it out. But while we were waiting, we decided to have some fun, well, I did, by going into the turrets in the Carrick and blowing up all the turrets outside, thus allowing anybody who flew there to just come in without any hazard whatsoever. However, we still had a number of trespassing charges, so rather than, go to jail, we just headed over to Grim Hex to log for the night. And that was why I had my Hurston security armor over at Hex. I did eventually pay off the fines. That was before I ended up with 2 credits to my name, so things were not horrible at that point. Okay, under 10 kilometers, closing. We are slightly over 2 kilometers up. We are closing in. I can see that my lights are either iffy or... Okay, I'm never 100% sure if I've turned them on or... Ooh, landing pads. Oh, that simplifies life. Of course, the downside of using the landing pads is I still have to do some walking. But you know what? There's no law that says I can't land sideways. Oh, no, not that button. Landing gear button. And the box is still there. Now, for those who are unfamiliar, Consolidated Outland apparently has a deal with one of the alien species, and I can't remember if it's the Xi'an or somebody else, which is where we get this repulsor lift tech, or whatever it is. Hover skids? I'm not entirely sure what it goes under as far as a technology name. You will see it with the Consolidated Outland hover quads, which recently was notable for killing Cap. And I think it might still be on sale on the RSI store with, if you buy a war bond, lifetime insurance. Which means it is more valuable not because of the fact that it exists as a flyable vehicle, but because it can be upgraded to almost any other ship and carry the lifetime insurance along with it. So basically, it is a relatively cheap lifetime insurance token. The hover quad does have a certain level of infamy associated with it, thanks to certain details about it. Let's put it that way. Certain details that had angered the community by substantial amounts. What was the gun? Oh, shotgun. I hate the shotguns. Oh, it's right here. I was trying to figure out where the heck is the package. It's right. I'm standing right next to it. No wonder I can't find it. And that's the reason why, if you were paying attention on my stream and noticed a number of hover quads in my hangar, I don't have them because they're hover quads. I have them because they're potential LTI starships. I'm sure I can find something to do with at least 2 of them. I can probably find something to do with the third as well, but, you know, worst comes to worst, oh, darn, I have a hover quad. Whatever will I do? So, not too concerned on that one. This isn't letting me place like I can with the other boxes. Annoying, but, you know, whatever. So that takes care of the selling half of our journey. Next stop is Daymar, where we will have our 3rd box pickup, and then our delivery. Before I do, however, and before I forget, I'm going to divest myself of some of the stuff I'm carrying on me and put it in the ship. I see no reason why I should be carrying all this stuff on my person, especially if I happen to find something else that's worth taking from a loot box somewhere. Okay, back up front. And we are up, and we are out. Now, something else that the Xi'an are involved with, another company that they're involved with, is MISC. And originally, they were going to have a lot to do with some of the way the Freelancer flew. If you'll look at some of the old, if you look at the old video ad, you'll notice that those engines were, engines in the wings would actually rotate to assist in landing, and that was supposed to be Xi'an tech allowing that sort of thing. But I think they kind of got away from that. Hiccup. But I think we're going to be seeing some more of it in the MISC Odyssey, because the concepts that they've got out there strongly indicate that one of the elevators they have kind of extends without actually being attached to anything. The Xi'an are also, I think, involved with Gantak, and the Gantak, more specifically the Gantak Raylan, which is a concept alien freighter. And I think it's the Xi'an. I can't prove it. I didn't think it was Tevarin. Tevarin, sorry. And I know it's not Vandul. And I'm pretty certain it's not Banu. So by almost by definition, we run out of aliens. And they apparently make use of all sorts of crazy alien stuff on that freighter. That, however, is also still in concept. There are plenty of ships that are still in concept that hopefully one day we'll see in the game. But we're just not getting a whole lot of insight off of the roadmap. We really don't know what's going to be coming. Well, we barely know what's coming next month. Well, I say next month loosely because we're presuming that the next patch will land sometime in mid to late April. which would be about the right timing for them to get prepared for, you know, Maze Invictus. But beyond the second quarter of the year, we really have no clue what is on the radar. I mean, you've got the basic sprints and the progress tracker, but the progress tracker doesn't give you an indicator as to how close something is to release. It just indicates that certain amounts of work are done. It doesn't indicate if it's at a release-ready level. Not to mention that some of the ships really aren't practical to put out there yet until server meshing becomes a thing, because they take up most of a server just a crew. I'm talking things like the Polaris, the Idris, the Javelin. These things have significant amounts of crew. I'm kind of iffy on Polaris because I can't remember the crew number on that one, but I know the Idris has a pretty significant crew, and I know the Javelin does. And we're not going to see any of those until, at the minimum, server meshing rolls in. And even then, I'm not 100% sure if we'll see them because Squadron 42 apparently is involved here somehow. I've never understood the logic behind that, but logic is one of those things it just throws the hands up and says whatever when it comes to Star Citizen. The boxes are still attached. Kill the cruise control, drop the landing gear. Okay, I wonder if I can sneak in between those, This is insane, but, you know, sanity takes a field day usually when I'm getting involved here. Can I sit down between everything? Well, yes and no, mainly because I'm not level. I think I can get away with it. Okay, maybe not. All right. Easy loading. Now, if I had a landing gear, this probably wouldn't be doable because that pole there would go through it and knock things off kilter. But since we all float in here, okay, 15 meters this way. Oh, I didn't even look for loot boxes. Nope, see no loot boxes. And, well, that's a nothing loot box. Those square cubicle ones, they usually have fruits of some kind in them. Ooh, guns. Gun. Ah! Yes! S-71. And I didn't take off the freaking grenade launcher, did I? No, I did not. Well, I feel stupid. We'll put that in local. And I'll try to remember to take that out before I leave. We'll see about it, won't we? More grenades. Oddly, while they had the S-71, they didn't have the ammunition. Typical. Okay, let's rock on to the other side here. I saw the item. Here we are. And let's put this baby in the pickup truck. Which, of course, I forgot to lower the ramp for. I mean, I could probably jump on top of it. The gravity is light enough here, I could probably get away with it. But why take chances when you don't have to? Okay, back on board. And this time I'm remembering to transfer from local into vehicles. And one of the benefits of being able to access the local with your vehicle like this is you can go the other way too. And that is how I've been able to set up a couple safe houses that basically have nothing but a couple guns and a couple hacking chips. So if I were to, say, accidentally get crime stat, I could grab a hacking chip somewhere other than the obvious location and have a easy weapon available in case I have to blast my way through. Proof positive that preparation matters. And being able to skip places like Grimhex to just go directly to a hacking facility, that's a big deal. That gives you a leg up on the bounty hunters that are undoubtedly already closing in on you. So our drop-off location is now up. Camden Plains Aid Shelter, also conveniently located here on Daymar. And not very far. At least it wouldn't be very far if I could, aim myself in the right general direction. There we are. See, this is why I hate the 2D radar. If I had the 3D radar, I would have a nice little guideline showing me roughly where I need to point. Which is very helpful if you're carrying multiple packages that are screwing up your markers. Unfortunately, it is still, well, it's either now dark or still dark here over at the shelter. I was hoping that might be daylight here, but that was apparently asking a little too much. C'est la vie. But we're closing in relatively quickly, covering a kilometer every 2 seconds, or near enough to it. In fact, I'm probably going a little too fast considering how close I am to the ground. Maybe I better slow that down a little bit. Ooh, way too close to the ground. Brakes! Brakes! Okay, where am I in relation to, maybe I need to go up a little further. And a little to the right. And we'll turn right a little bit. Oh, no. Level out, level out, level out. Close enough. So all that remains is to open up the cargo bay, unload the packages, deliver them to the, well, this is an aid shelter, so it probably doesn't have a Covalex box. Most likely it's going to be shelving, just like I've seen in other locations. We'll start with the medical package first. Let's see, 3,900 and 400. So, not either of those. Uh, 3,900, 400. Oh. I guess this one's only showing me the one I need to drop off into. Oh, why didn't the other guys do that? Clearly, some of these delivery waypoint markers could probably use a little bit of polishing. Or maybe it was because of the type. But no, that's showing me this specific one here too. Oh, I wonder if it's because that was the 45,000 one though. So maybe they didn't do as good a job on replicating the behavior of their drop-off stuff. I'm just guessing, of course, because, you know, I have absolutely no idea how they code this stuff. And I'm sure the coding languages involved are definitely well beyond my knowledge base. Of course, that's presuming coding is involved at all. Final box. Oops. Okay, I may have made a horrible, horrible mistake. Let's drop that for a minute. Oh, I hope I didn't just bug this thing to death. Okay, even though I knocked that package off of its alignment, it still gives me credit for having delivered it, which is good. Nobody will notice. And I don't believe I saw any loot boxes in here. I didn't really expect there to be, but it was always possible. And this puts us above the 100,000 mark. Was this a highly profitable few trips? Nah! Not in comparison with other things you could be doing, like bounty hunting or doing the jump town right now if you can, you know, avoid getting killed. But it did have the advantage in the fact that nobody shot a single gun at me, despite the fact that I was certain that 2 of them would involve heavy firepower. I was dead certain that I was going to have to be using my guns today, especially especially after I got that grenade launcher. That was certainly something I was waiting for. Did not expect. Did not expect. So we'll hop back on board. And before I forget about it again, let's get the grenade launcher in the vehicle. All it's doing is confusing me when I look at my guns. Especially since I don't have the ammo on me at the moment. And I see that we are at the 3 o'clock hour. And that means this is as good a time as any to wrap things up on today's stream. Made a little bit of money, slowly rebuilding the nest egg, although admittedly we're doing baby steps, because, you know, I could have made that in maybe half an hour if I were doing the VHRT group bounties or something like that. It was an honest living, yes. No blood had to be shed, which was a surprise, but, you know, these things happen. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't hurt to remind people that Star Citizen does not inevitably mean shooting everyone you see. However, I can almost guarantee that next week will probably involve shooting everybody I see, because we can't be nice and quiet and peaceful all the time. I'd go mad. Okay, I might go more mad. Just saying. In any case, I will return next Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and we'll find out what kind of trouble I can get into. I also do a Wednesday night stream of Star Trek Online, where I follow the adventures of a Klingon warrior who's having to do some really unusual things for a Klingon these days. I do that Wednesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Whammo. Good having you here. In fact, everyone, glad you stopped by. Good chatting with you and Cap today. I look forward to seeing you all again. Whether you watch this live right now on Twitch or video on demand, either on Twitch or on YouTube. Thank you all very much for coming. This is Korath Landwalker, signing off.